Nah. Hey guys, this is Kelco K22 and yay, devlog time. Yay. And I've really got to thank you for all the support on the last one. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. I mean, in fact, that last time round I said I'll bring back light goals as a light goal, and you all gave that video more likes from pretty much any of my recent stuff. I've got to scroll back quite a while to find a video with more likes than that, and that's quite amazing. And that means now I've got to do light goals, haven't I? Yeah. So let's start off with the light goal this time round. This time round, I'm going to be doing this thing. Yes, this thing. Got no idea what it's called. It's from a Kamen Rider Geats stage show. What was the stage show's name? I've got it loaded up on the side. It is the Golden Desire Night, which I am classifying that as a main stage show if you're curious about the rules. I don't know what this thing's name is. I'll probably do a bit more research after this video. But if I can't find a legitimate name, I'll just call it the Riser Cannon or something like that. So yes, and what's going to be the goal? Seeing as it was 50 last time and we ended up with 70, I think I'm going to set it as 60. 60 is less than the 70 we got last time round, but it's more than my original goal, so we're still exceeding what I was hoping for last time round. So can you do it? Will I be adding this cannon? If you're wondering, this cannon is essentially a paint / slight retool of the cannon thing from Tokujo, which I probably should have looked up the name of. Picture here. Essentially, they just added a tube down the center for a cannon barrel and said, okay, job done. Now paint it up as the Riser. So, yep. It's interesting at least. So, what have I been working on the last week or so? Well, last time I did ask, do you want me to go for everything, not just me, but the dev team has been working on? A few people said yes, so I think actually I'm going to start with something that Chair and Hosif has been doing. We've got more music discs. Hosif has been working on the music discs and steadily uploading them. Sorry, I saw some interesting lines on that. That's weird. Why is there a line there? I don't know. Hosif, anyway, has been working on more music discs constantly, but I've kind of been lazy and not adding them. Chair, as an absolute legend, came in and added all the ones that I was just too lazy to add. So, can we get a thank you, Chair, and can we get a thank you, Hosif, in the comment section? Because this is slowly starting to fill out. Now, I will be playing a few of these songs as the background music on this video, so if you're curious what some of them sound like, there you go. Moving on, because I don't want to play them because it'll mess up with the background music on this video. Last night I did a stream and I finally got round to updating Gills. This looks so much better. Now, I said this in the stream. I'm planning on this being a super short update. There was a bug in the previous version that kind of needs fixing. The only problem is I started work on something pretty big, which I'll show you later, before this thing was found, so I couldn't exactly push a bug fix. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to work on as many small little things so it actually feels like a big update, even though it's going to be a small update. And Gills is definitely one of these things, because I had most of this texture already sorted out. I was just missing the legs and then the model, and I think the model turned out amazingly. I worked it on in a stream last night. The stream wasn't very successful, unfortunately, but that was mostly because my computer decided it wasn't going to behave. Naughty computer, but She seems to be behaving today. So I'll forgive her. I mean, if you... I judge how good the day is going to be depending on how many of my front fans spin up on the computer. Normally, it's a 0 fan day. I consider it a pretty good day if one of the fans spin up. Today, all 3 span up. Today is a good day. Actually, you know what? Let's just swap over to the test map, and I can show you what the other models look. These I kept a lot of the model that I had for Gills Exceeded before, just because I actually kind of like the 2D look with these parts. So I just carried over the horn and then added the extended bit in the center. Then we have the black version, well, the black and gold. This still looks awesome. And then we have the card armor version, which does have the normal horns behind, like all of the card armor forms that I have updated so far. I absolutely love the way this is working, but I'm not going to do the another Agitos in G3/G4/G3X/ you get the point. I'm not going to do all of them now. I'm going to leave them for a future update. But I still think that has already started to look amazing. So let's go back over to the other world and we can go on to some of the other things that have been worked on. Okay, Kabuto's structure. It's called Godspeed Love. Axos has been working on updating that structure, making it slightly less annoying and slightly better looking. So I'm not going to go and find one because I don't know if the files have been pushed. But the Kabuto structure has been worked on, and we are planning on adding Chop Hopper. I'll put a picture of Chop Hopper here. I just haven't coded it in because I believe it was Metal decided to make the texture and give it to us. So thank you, Metal. So we will be getting Chop Hopper soon. So if you're wondering, the Agito, the Kabuto, I always like trying to work on at least 4 series. And the next one is actually going to be Revice, because this might be a very bad idea to spawn this in. I'm going to do it over here just in case. I'm being peaceful, aren't I? Yep, we have a new boss. I don't know if this is actually set up to spawn yet, but this is partly because we're trying to make some of the things that were previously unobtainable obtainable, and by making a Crimson Veil, we're one step closer to having Gotchard Rex available. Because if I remember in the show, Gotchard Rex was made from the GIF cells that were stored within Veil. I'm trying to be a bit obscure with some of the things, so I'm not super spoilery, but I am a bit spoilery, so yeah, either way. So previously the crafting recipe involved no, I don't want it from there, I want it from here. Previously involved the GIF stamp to represent those GIF cells. That might be swapping over to the Crimson Rolling stamp. I don't know yet. I'm still trying to work out how it is, but potentially Gotchard Rex might be coming soon as obtainable. Moving on to Geats. Now, there's been a good bit of work for Geats done. We're still trying to finalize a few things, but my goal is to get Geats 9 obtainable. Just like Gotchard Rex, I kind of want to get all the final forms up to here-ish obtainable. Just so these series are a bit more complete. And essentially, yep, if you don't know, I use chests to memorize things that I'm planning. But we're slowly getting towards this. If I actually... if I go Bujin Sword now has a crafting recipe involving the Bujin Sword Desire card, as well as the... I can never remember how you pronounce this one. I always just remember it as Hibiki. It's the one that looks like Hibiki. But, yeah, the idea is going to be we're going to allow you to obtain these desire cards in a few different ways. Currently, you can get the Boost Mark II one from the Jamato Riders, and this is how you obtain Boost Mark II. But if you combine that with the Jamashin Desire card, which would be dropped by the Premium Beroba mob, which will be added at some point soon, hopefully. The Fantasy Desire card, which is going to be dropped by, I believe it's the Gazer boss that is coming soon. And Bujin Sword, which is obtained by the Kekira boss, with Premium Kekira. You get my point. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much I mispronounce something. You know who I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about the frog. But not the frog. The dude that looks like a frog. Yeah. But you craft all four of them and you're going to get the Desire Grand Prix Winners coin, which is Ace's coin. Now, I'm considering doing this for simplicity, where you just get kind of like all the main Geats items and you craft this. So essentially, like, the coin is the 9th tail, where each of these are considered like one of Geats' tails. So this is the 9 tails. So Boost Mark 3 or Geats 9. But Axos kind of wants to bring in the Desire statue into this. So you would give the coin to the Desire statue and get a Desire card for Geats 9 or Geats Mark 3 kind of thing. And that would link into this crafting recipe. I don't know yet. We have plans. We have plans. We have ideas. We have plans. We have concepts. We have no idea what we are doing. Yay. But whilst I am thinking about it, I did also change the crafting recipe. For 03 to involve a Desire card, which is the Dankaroto Desire card, which would be the Dankaroto's wish to have a child or whatever it was from outsiders. Kind of linking that back into this, because I kind of wanted to link in both Dan and Geats into this item, and I felt like this is going to be the best way to do that. Now, I don't know how we were going to obtain this card yet, but it's going to be... I don't know if it's going to be obtainable this update, but it will be at some point. And then, because I did this, Realizing Hopper, I was able to change this back, because somebody changed Arc 1 in this crafting recipe to Arc Scorpion because of the other one needing Arc 1. And I think Arc 1 makes more sense in this, because this is essentially later in the series after Arc 1, and you kind of get my point. This just makes more sense to me. Now, what else has been worked on? I mentioned this in my Let's Test series. Actually, this might load up something I don't want to show yet. Yep, this has loaded up something I don't want to show yet. Oh no. Oh no. Spoilers. It has to be this world. Never trust me in a world with commands. Yeah, never trust me. So, if you've been watching the Let's Test series, you probably already know this, but I have changed the way yummies now work. Essentially, you can now control what what the yummy evolves into, which greed, based on the location you are. For example, in forests, I was really hoping one would spawn. Come on. You know what? It's gonna do this to me, isn't it? Let's go 50. Oh, that's why I'm in peaceful. But you might see we've got some oovers. In forests, you get oovers. Let's try and find some more. In rivers. Yeah, in rivers, in oceans. Actually, there's something else I haven't showed off. In rivers and in oceans, you end up with Mazool. These aren't going to fall to death in rivers, are they? What if I just... Actually, you can see a Mazool there and one there. But I think that's more out of chance than anything else. And if you go Badlands, you get Gamil, if I remember right. Savannas, it's Kazari. Mountains, it is Ankh. Now, there is a bit of overlap with mountains and forests and things like that. So, you might end up struggling to get Ankh. But kind of Ankh's one of the more important ones. So, making it a bit more difficult is not a bad idea. But I just spotted this, so I'm going to leave the O stuff and onto this. Yeah, do you realise what this is? Now, did I end up... Nope, I did not end up with a good one. These have a habit, unfortunately, of getting flooded. But these are the ruins from Cougar. And there is some spots in here for the archaeology. Now, I believe there are some rarer items hidden in these, so it might be worth tracking these down if you want some of the more interesting things. But for the most part, you do just get Amadam stones. I'm actually kind of wanting to get one of the more rarer ones now, so I can show you that you can get rare ones. Now, the idea is at some point we're going to get the a rarer one with the tomb actually in here. But for now, it is just this. I think this is interesting, and there are some more stones here if you want to try and get them. So I've been keeping the best thing for last, and hopefully you all consider this the best thing. Look at all those yummies over there. And you might be wondering, what is the best thing? The best thing is I've started to make a Gotchard obtainable. We've got a whole bunch more cards. Now, not all of these have forms associated with them yet, but they will do at some point. But if I just go in here and type in blank, you can see... Where is it? We now have a crafting recipe for the blanks. Now, the idea of these crafting recipes is I want to try and link it to Wizard. Now, this might seem weird, but when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. With rings with the coloured gemstones. I know it's a bit of a stretch. I didn't feel like adding new gemstones. I mean, let's face it. Here's a description of a rider. Tell me which rider this is. A female rider that uses a silver ring to transform. This ring has a orange gemstone implanted in it. The final arc of this rider's series involves a philosopher's stone, and the main rider of this series has a dragon. Now, question. Am I talking about the female Wiseman, or am I talking about Majade? See what I mean? They're basically the same thing. And more to the point, if Gills Outsider doesn't do something with that, Gills Outsider, I keep on calling out that. If Gills Remix doesn't do something like that and give Majade a wizard-themed version of Rainbow Gotchard, I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna riot. But yes, I haven't decided how the stones are going to be crafted. So the rings are going to be crafted yet. So currently they're obtainable. They will be at some point. But what I'm thinking is blank ring plus gem. Now, the reason I put gems here is consider this crafting as you are transmuting the energy from the gemstone into a piece of paper to become the Chemi card. And that's the way I kind of envision this crafting recipe. Not to mention the fact that you do keep the ring. The rings are set up so any crafting recipe you see that involves a ring, you keep the ring. I just want to make that perfectly clear. So you only really need one ring of each colour. And another thing is, now if I grab a bunch of blanks, I'm going to grab another bunch of blanks. And we're going to grab these two. And let's grab these 5 rings, because I actually made the Chemi cards obtainable as well. So, if we right click it, we can see 2 slots. This will get a custom GUI at some point. But in slot 1, you put a ring. It doesn't matter which ring. Well, it kind of does, but you put a ring in there. And you put blanks in the second slot. And then you get Chemi cards. Now, you might be noticing, why are they all insect Chemis? Well, that's because of the combo of the blue ring with the orange riser. If you swap out the blue ring for the green ring, plant chemis. How about the red ring? Are those animals? Yep, animals. How about the orange ring? I don't know if that's fantasy or thinking. Planet. I am still none the wiser. I'm pretty sure they're fantasy, though. What about the purple ring? I don't actually know what they are. Those the artifact ones? I think they're the artifact ones. Is Time Lord an artifact? I thought he was a job. And if we take these out of here, we can go over to this one. Let's put some in here. Let's go blue ring. Vehicle chemis. How about the green ring? I think that's job chemis. Red ring. Is that ancient chemis? These are going to be the planetary chemis. Yeah, the sun. Perfect example. I think this is occult. Yep, Ninetales, Angel Lead. So yeah, that's how you're going to be getting your chemis, depending on which riser you use, and then which ring you put inside of the riser. You get different chemis. Now let's just pick up all these because I'm not done. There's actually still more you can do with these risers. Let's grab some obsidian. And word I'm not going to say because I know it's going to get clipped. We light the portal. Did you see what just happened to the blank cards? Do you know what these blanks are now? These are the Daybreak blanks. Because yes, now, if you do this, you get the Daybreak Chemi cards. I thought this was the most ingenious way to get the Daybreak cards in. Now, currently, there are only 2 Daybreak cards programmed. The idea is 10 Daybreak cards. We might go stupid and add all of the Daybreak cards, but I'm only planning the 10. Now, you might be wondering, okay. What was that spoiler you mentioned earlier? Well, if I happen to run this command... Oh, no. I'm underground. I shouldn't have done that. In the nether. We're currently working on something. This is the city. And you might have noticed, in the city, the chemi cards, the blank chemi cards have changed again. Now let me just ditch these so I can clear my inventory. So what kind of chemi cards do you think the city's going to give us? Legend chemi cards. Now, the city is available in the current version, in which, I mean, if you use the command, you can get in here. But as you can see by these plants, we still have a lot to do with this. But the city is a work in progress, so I don't want to show too much about the city. But this is essentially the thing Axos has been working on. And I've got to admit, this thing looks amazing. Oh, and by the way, this structure here is based on the drive pit, and there just happens to be a super secret thing behind this block. If you come to a city, break this block, okay? Now, I'm not going to, as I said, I'm not going to show too much of this city, just because it is a work in progress. Things are constantly being edited and altered. But I kind of just wanted to show the fact that we do have an idea that is functioning for the Legend chemis and how to get Kamen Rider Legend. But I don't think this is going to be implemented this update. But either way, if you've enjoyed this for even a split second, please do consider hitting the like button, subscribing if you're not already. Any and all support is so greatly appreciated, so till next time. Goodbye, and hopefully I didn't forget anything.